Mark already talked a little bit about the sharing aspect. Obviously, governments need to look at how are they going to deal with cyber in a hybrid warfare type of atmosphere. The sharing process is really critical for, especially on cyber, because government doesn't have access to all of the data and where the data is coming from and what type of data is out there. Whereas a lot of us in the private industry, we have customers that are affected in these regions, and we can obtain that intelligence, that threat intelligence, and then share it among, whether it's among the industry, like we've done with the wipers. If you saw the wipers, they were shared out to everybody, so you could get those IOCs and you could protect your network from those. But we can also share those with the government, and I think that's, we're starting to see more and more private public partnerships coming about, whether it's through the Cyber Tech Accord or whether it's through other capabilities and organizations. But it's critical because you're not going to see everything in a cyber war. We don't see everything that Mandiant sees. We don't see everything that DXC sees or Cloudflare sees. But between all of us, we can provide very good protection and capabilities and intelligence to the governments and to private industry. So the more we can affect that, and the more we can build upon what we've started here through this process, I think is going to be better off for everybody. Well, I think all of us have support like the Cyber Tech Accord, which is do no harm, but also protect your customers. Yeah. And that's what we all do for our customers. Is we're gonna throw out and make sure they're protected. And again, we pull that information, whether it's from the government sharing or the private sector sharing that information to us, and we share that to our customers to make sure they're protected from day one. So like the wipers I mentioned before, we got those IOCs, we put those out, and all of our customers are protected at that point. You mentioned, can that things be done? So CISA, we mentioned CISA earlier. They've just put out the known exploitable vulnerability database, where they are now adding in vulnerabilities. And I know the private sector is submitting a lot of those exploits and vulnerabilities that are being actively exploited. So the 0 days aren't 0 days anymore, and they become end days. Yep. So those kind of programs, I think, are going to be key to helping minimize the damage that happens out there, for sure. And then the use of AI, you guys have a lot of the AI stuff over AI and machine learning. Those technologies are fabulous at helping identify unknown threats. The pattern matching that was done years and years ago in the industry helps, but it's not as good for the unknown type of threats that are going out there. So as we start deploying those newer technologies, those new next generation technologies, those will also improve the ability for companies to well, one of the reasons we became a founding member of the Cyber Tech Accord is because the intention is to bring in organizations from all over the world and all types of industries. So it's not just a cybersecurity tech accord, right? It comprises of businesses that have nothing to do with cybersecurity, but they can bring their own types of information and knowledge to the tech accord, the others in the tech accord, to help improve cybersecurity around the world. The other aspect, obviously, is the ability to support the government discussions and get governments discussing cybersecurity in a way that has to be discussed, especially now that we've got hybrid warfare, cyber warfare actually happening. That's a huge part of that needs to be addressed by government, but government needs advice, and the advice can come from these small, medium, and large businesses.